The air is surprisingly fresh outside, even a bit damp. It's as if the motel room itself had its own oppressive atmosphere that was permeating my sinuses. And now I'm finally free. Near the horizon, thick gray clouds loom overhead. The reservation must be getting some rain. Jenna seems to notice as well, taking a few steps forward into the mostly empty parking lot before speaking up. Kinda nice out, isn't it? Yeah. She opens her mouth to speak, but pauses some as she looks over her shoulder, a light frown crossing her blonde features. Come on, let's go. She starts moving again, heading toward the street. Duke's house, right? And we're walking. Yeah, that a problem? She glances back. I reach down, feeling the tender, hardening muscles around my thighs and knees. Just a bit sore from the hike, that's all. Oh, you're a tough guy, Chase. I'm sure you'll manage. A tough guy. I also summon to catch up, the Fennec already on the road. She smiles some as I catch up alongside her. Your phone has a flashlight, right? Yeah? Oh, give me a sec. Reach into my pocket and flick on my phone. Takes a second, but I find the right button. The cracked pavement in front of us quickly illuminated, just in case we come across any snakes or spiders. Or overweight rams. Those two. I shine my phone towards the sagebrush that winds along the narrow wash that passes by the motel. It's like I'm half expecting to see Carl's goofy, grinning muzzle peeking out through the brambles. I'm sorry if I woke you. It's fine, I was in the shower. Woke everyone else up, though. Jenna straightens her tank top, peering through the cracked glass windows of the old ice cream shop. Even the for lease sign on the awning is mostly faded away. Still got that old Victorian architecture that you can see on a lot of buildings built originally by the wealthier settlers in the turn of the century. Faded green and pale blue paint still clings to parts of the main facade with the copper metal roof, a mix of dark amber and turquoise. In its heyday, it probably stood out some fierce, colorful contrast to the harsh beiges of the desert, and ultimately an opulent reminder of the old world amidst the new. I wasn't expecting Leo to be there, honestly. He giving you any more trouble? I watched the pavement turn to packed dirt beneath my feet as we round the corner onto Gretchen Road. Ooh, music kicking on. It's a desolate stretch of road, the only striking feature being a concrete mixing business that closed its doors back in the 90s. You can still see the big mounds of grayish dirt past the slatted chain link. Ultimately, it takes me a moment to respond to Jenna's question. No, he's just upset. I could practically feel the fox's incredulous raised eyebrow, a trademark reaction if ever she had one. Actually, well, this is gonna sound stupid. Playing Leo's behavior off as him being just upset is stupid, but continue. I sigh. Sorry. Jenna frowns some and moves closer, nudging my arm with her shoulder. Hey, you haven't done anything wrong. I don't know about that. Oh? Again, that expectant look. Here we go. I'm kind of glad you texted me. Didn't really want to go back to sleep. I guess I was having a nightmare. This same sort of recurring one I've been having that's a little different each time. Each dream, I'm facing myself, but it's not me. Not like a mirror me. Things are different, messed up, blurred. Sometimes it speaks and it's all distorted like an old AM radio station with bad signal. It looks away for a moment, then back to me. And each time, it gets a little clearer. And it might just be because it's fresh in my head right now, but I kind of remember what it was saying. I stopped briefly, shining the flashlight on a tumbleweed rolling across the dirt road ahead. Briefly gets stuck in a mesquite tree, bouncing against the trunk and leaving a few twigs behind before rolling back along its course. Do you remember when I texted you that I got into Pueblo and you drove all the way back down here to celebrate? I do. We were going to surprise Leo, remember? I do. There's a delay in her words as she seems to already know exactly what incident I'm referring to. The prank. She lets out a long, drawn-out breath of air. We pretended you were cheating on him with those fake texts I was sending you. He smashed your phone and you told him you were leaving Echo. Yes, it wasn't the best of practical jokes to play on someone. What the fuck just happened? This side of my headphone just fucking went... I mean, it's still working. I could still hear out of it. But what the fuck was that? Yes, it wasn't the best of practical jokes to play on someone who was already fairly unstable. He wasn't Chase. What does this have to do with your dream? She cuts me off, her tone more curious than stern. I know, it's just the whole thing was just playing back like some kind of record. Everything that happened. All the fake text messages you sent me as Jared. Ah, okay, so that explains it. Me leaving the phone on the table, Leo confronting me. Then you showing up and telling him it's a joke. That he's overreacting, then smash. Smash. Let me smash. Becky. I make a motion like I'm going to toss my phone down. Jenna flinches, instinctively grabbing for it before slowly furrowing her thin brows at me. Has Leo been guilting you about that? No, not really. So you've been feeling guilty then? I guess. Why else would this be manifesting in my subconscious and all that? Well, I'd usually recommend expressing this to Leo, if I didn't think that your attempts at reconciliation would be perceived by him as you trying to get back together. She rubs the bridge of her short nose before crossing her arms over her chest. We did already apologize for this years ago, but if you absolutely must, maybe wait until we're back at Pueblo. He's clearly got some issues to sort out right now, and you're under absolutely no obligation to try to solve them. Especially considering his recent behavior. It's incredibly difficult to help people that don't want to be helped. I agree. You're probably right. She gives me a sidelong look. I mean, you are right. I rub my paw across my face. You're gonna get coronavirus to touch your face like that. You're gonna disinfect yourself. By the way, cutting the joke, hand sanitizer, if you do come in contact with anything coronavirus related, hand sanitizer won't kill it. It'll just make it dormant. But it'll still be on you. You need to wash with soap and water, because soap will actually destroy the shit. Important thing to remember in case you're like, oh, I'll just hand sanitizer after every customer. Like, wash your hands with soap and water. I rub my paw across my face, smooshing my own facial features into my paw pads. It's just shitty, I guess. You know, someone for 15 years of your life, you grow up with them, and there's like, I don't know, a vested interest. I was there for every big mistake, triumph, you name it. I'm not sure what exactly further support I can even offer at this point. It's just been too long. Plus, I'm gone again as soon as this weekend's up. So what's the point when I'm probably just gonna fuck things up worse? Chase. Jenna's tone was curt, and I look over to see her face very much matches her tone. Leo was dry humping you at the kiddie arcade. You do not need to feel this conflicted about being upset about that. Look, there's a moment of hesitation, like she knows the right words to say, but needs time to phrase them more delicately. I understand that men have a different hormonal attraction to each other than generally what I feel as a woman when I am attracted to someone. For men, that feeling of attraction, and I'm paraphrasing, something you probably already understand, at least on an intuitive level, is broadly more physical and sudden. there's an emphasis on aesthetics and, well, the mechanics of what's happening. I blink, getting the gist of what she's saying, but not exactly sure where she's going with this. As stereotypical as it is, most women feel attraction as a sort of a slow burn. More passion is derived from intimacy, meaning, contrast, forbidden love, etc. She gesticulates in a swirling motion. That's not to say abrupt sparks of fancy don't form from into urges being what they are, so I may not be adequately equipped to fully grasp the true nature of your guys' relationship, but what Leo did at the family plex is just beyond dumb, latent horniness. It's complete detachment from reality of you two's respective situations. Jenna's voice raises some, louder than her usual controlled level, and probably inappropriate for this time of night. It's upsetting, especially so with all that's going on. I continue to walk slightly ahead of Jenna, unsure of what to say and feeling like if I met her gaze right now, I'd regret it. I shine my light on a lone desert willow that sits on the bank of the nearby wash. In the branches, flickers and reflected light shine back. Eyes. They're small, sitting squarely on the nest made from bramble, like that of the tumbleweed from earlier. Bird.
Bird. A bird is a bird. Bird. Bird.
Sorry, I announce, monotoned. Jenna steps up beside me, hands on her hips as she looks where I'm now pointing. She exhales with some exasperation before responding. Yeah. Looks like a wren. How can you tell? As far as I know, Jenna was never much into nature or animals. Wrens are the really fat ones, rotund. She pushes her small hands together, making a circle to emphasize the roundness. Her eyes must be better than mine, because I can only barely make out the beak. I look back at Jenna, and she's still staring up at the tree. Something about the whole scene of it gives me this strange twinge of nostalgia. Us wandering aimlessly about Echo with nowhere to go and nothing to do. And somehow we thought that feeling would last forever. Is it just me, or is this conversation kind of familiar? Not the bird, I mean. You and I walking around talking about stupid things Leo's doing? Yeah, that's not too far out of the ordinary. She smiles some, and I can't help but smile back. Yeah, and that... God, do you remember showing me those yaoi comics you got from the mail? From the mall, I believe? Oh, yeah, I hid them under a rock about a half mile from my house. I had to fight a scorpion to get you your Coco Tanuki eye issues. Jenna lets out an amused noise, shaking her head. While my relationships with the rest of the group aside, Leo had mainly stayed the same after they found out I like guys. Jenna and I actually grew more close after the fact. Despite not really being too into anime, talking about her manga and the dumb romance stuff, and then that was kind of fun. My hero. I said I remember discussing the differences between yaoi and bara. Talking just now kind of reminded me of that. Saying those two words out loud feels weird. Yeah, it fucking does. Boys love and man's love. Right. I do remember that, Chase. I'm a little surprised you do. She says that with a forced teasing tone to her voice for some reason. I cant my head curiously towards her. Why wouldn't I? I really enjoyed all that. Talking with you about it, I mean. Truly. I suppose I thought I was only being humored for my special interest topics that the rest of you were not remotely interested in. It's a little creepy now that I think about it in context. I waved dismissively. No. I mean, you weren't like a fan Yoshi or anything. Hell, you should have seen all that sort of yaoi stuff Leo kept on his computer. Funjoshi and... Really? Oh. getting crackling in my fucking headphones again. Like, seriously, I just got these replaced, right? Just got these replaced in the fucking mail like 2 days ago, and they're already starting to crackle on me. This is fucking ridiculous. This is absolutely buttfuck ridiculous. How long are these things? Because if the Bluetooth just will not cooperate with my computer, maybe I can just use... Oh my god! Did you hear that shit? They just fucking... It's still working. That was fucking absurd. This is bullshit. You hear me? This is bullshit. I bought these fucking headphones, got them replaced like yesterday. And it only does this with the computer. Like, I've never had this problem with it on the phone. When I listen to shit on my phone. Maybe I just gotta fucking deal with the cord. Maybe that'll fucking fix it. Sure, whatever. And yeah, he was pretty into more porny stuff. Jenna laughs. Most yaoi is written by women who've never met a gay guy before, and it's full of gender-imprinted ukisemi tropes and dubious consent. Hey, sometimes that's hot. I'm surprised the words leave my mouth, and I immediately feel a burner on the edges of my ears. Jenna looks at me. Can't quite read her expression now in the darkness, though I'm not about to shine a flashlight on her. Yeah, that's part of why we read it. As long as it's understood as fantasy and not normalcy. Of course. I nod. But to take this back to reality for a second, no one should be forcing themselves on you like that. No matter what they see in the porn or how long they've known you. Right. Yeah. Appreciate the concern. I nod again at Jenna, who returns to scanning about the nearby underbrush. However, I can't help but feel at least a little like I'm being treated like some battered victim here. Maybe I'm just too numb these days to feel like I probably should. Oh, this is a familiar street. The road turns back into chipped asphalt as we get closer to the old rail yard. The tracks to which run directly behind Leo and Duke's backyards. Not that they'd seen any use in decades. Most of the houses down this road are newer, and the county even installed a street light after an old badger lady got hit by a car 5 years ago. That being said, most of the residences stand vacant now, in various states of disrepair. As we round a bend, I spot Leo's house down the way. It's a little ranch-style house, with a long backyard, straight off a dirt road leading from the street. It used to be his family's home before they moved out. No cop cars parked out front or anything, not that I really expected there to be. Oh, hey, look at the CG! Look at the CG, look at the CG. This is cool, kind of freaky, too. Jenna slows for a moment, peering over shoulder. Nice. Her senses are better than mine, so I listen my pace as well, trying to listen carefully. It's dead silent beyond the usual desert ambience, whatever. The rustle of breeze, swept trees, chirping crickets, and chirps from local night birds. I turn back to look at her. What? She frowns to herself. Nothing. Did you hear something? She shakes her head, rubbing her wrist as she refocuses her attention back on me. No, just some unexpected nostalgia. I smile some, glad I'm not the only one. No, I'm not the only one. Oh? What for? Can't exactly place it. It's just a feeling. Almost sort of what people call deja vu. Oh. I nod sagely, pretending to understand. She watches me for a moment as if studying my features for something deeper. I watch her as well, the golden glow of the streetlight giving her fur a pale radiance, blurring her features into something warm and familiar. Her bushy tail sways, and I can see the light plumes of desert dust scatter away on the asphalt beneath. They dissipate into the air and like smoke from a cigarette. When we were younger, we had many nights like this, walking to and from Leo's place. Most of the time, we'd be chatting about video games we'd been playing or some manga that Jenna had gotten into. Looking back, I could tell she savored those times. The fleeting moments she had away from home, where she could express her passions without fear of judgment or ridicule. Well, occasionally there'd be ridicule, but of the good faith sort, I think. Whenever she criticized some dumb thing I said or weird-ass phase I was going through, it never felt like she thought lesser of me. She suffered through my late 2000s frosted tip highlight scene phase, after all. She was just trying to encourage me to be a better person. Those long walk-in talks we had were like ways to gauge our own small-town-induced insanity. It was during those times I felt more secure in myself than I ever did elsewhere. But it's also when we understood we truly didn't belong here. I can't help but wonder if that's what she's thinking of right now. She smiles once and picks up the pace again. I step back and match her speed. I step up and match her speed. I hope Duke still works late shifts.